Well, the German government has pledged 6.2 billion rand to help South Africa move towards a greener economy. South Africa is still very heavily reliant on coal, with over 80% of its electricity generated from coal. Well, let's find out if this is going to make any difference. First of all, energy expert Roger Lilley joining us this morning. Hello to you, Roger. Good to have you on ENC. I always appreciate your time. So let's talk if we can. It's all going to well to say, well, here's 6.2 billion rand to move away from coal. But when it comes to green energy, that's not going to happen overnight, is it?
Good morning, Gareth. Good morning to your listeners. Yeah, look, Gareth, you're right. This won't happen overnight. But fortunately, the South African government is signing contracts with independent power producers, particularly in the areas of wind and solar. So we do expect to see some movement in this area within the next 18 to 24 months. The big issue, of course, is to do with the closing of coal mines and coal-powered power stations, coal-fired power stations, and that remains a challenge. It seems that the rest of the world are taking this a bit more seriously than South Africa is at the moment, with enormous offers of money being made available. As you know, last year we were offered $8.5 billion to move in this direction, to assist us in this area. And now another 6 million rand on top of that. So altogether, almost 150 billion rand made available by the international community to help South Africa move away from coal.
I suppose there's going to be two issues when it comes to moving away from coal. I think anybody would agree for a greener economy and to help save the environment, we have to move away from coal. The problem is we have dependency on coal for two things. One, and you can decide, Roger, what you'd like to pick up on first. We need the coal right now to keep our power on when we do have power because of blackouts. And whenever we talk about changes in electricity and mining, we have to talk about jobs. Maybe let's start with the blackouts and the load shedding. If we go greener, could we see the end of load shedding, in your opinion?
Yes, we could, because Eskom has made it clear again and again that it needs additional power generation to come on stream. So we need between 4,000 and 6,000 extra megawatts of power. Those are not going to come from new coal or even existing coal by and large, because the coal-fired power stations are old and unreliable and over and above the environmental issue, which we can discuss later. So the big issue is new generation capacity coming on stream. Bid window 5 should have provided us with about 2,500 megawatts. The minister so far has signed 3 of those out of the 25 that he originally authorized or approved. 3 of those have been signed, so we have about 200 megawatts out of 2,000 megawatts available. And that, again, as I say, will take another 18 to 24 months before it comes on stream. So we're concerned because despite the foreign support, we're not seeing a reciprocated response by the government, particularly the Minister of Energy, in any kind of sense of urgency in this matter.
Why do you think that is? Because I've heard this comment before that the help is being offered, the expertise are being offered, the money in this case is being handed over as well, but there is no giddy up and go from our government. What do you suspect that is? Why is that?
Personally, I think that the problem is that the minister's background is in the mining sector, and he understands the mining sector very well. Obviously, he doesn't want to be the one who is responsible for increased unemployment, where we already have a terrible situation in that regard. But I think he underestimates the ability of miners. Firstly, we're not going to close the mines overnight. Mines can still operate and export coal, so that will produce foreign investment, which we need, or foreign currency, which we need. And then over and above that, there's a duration of time while the power stations will be converted slowly. And Eskom has already made that clear, that some of its power stations can indeed be converted to use different kinds of technology to generate the electricity in the same place. So people will still be employed in those power stations, and people will still be employed in the mines for the next few years as they're exporting mine. And as long as coal is desired by India and China and others, South Africa can export it, so we can keep mining it. The issue is not so much the mining, although that's bad in and of itself. The issue is burning it. Burning it to generate electricity is polluting the atmosphere, particularly around the 12 power stations in Mpumalanga, to the point where, according to the CSIR, 5,000 people die every year simply by the air pollution. And thousands, tens of thousands of people suffer from asthma and bronchitis simply because of air pollution, simply because we burn coal, you know.
Roger, let me ask you this, because I think many people would agree, especially living in those areas, how bad it is just for the air quality, and those now suffering with exactly what you spoke about, bronchitis, asthma, and various other issues. Technically, do we have the expertise in this country to move away from coal? I remember an article back in 2022, around about July, where German experts actually were going to come over to assist South Africa in our energy renewable program. Do we have the experts in this country, or are we going to pay more money to have to get experts in?
Well, in fact, we're not going to pay more money. We're going to pay the same money. We must understand that independent power producers bring their own skills with them. They are, by and large, foreign companies who have done this sort of work elsewhere before. They are practiced and experienced in this work. They come to South Africa, they install the equipment, they set it all up, and then they train local people to operate the equipment, and they leave. We have a number of wind farms and solar farms in this country where exactly that has taken place. Now, as those people learn, the private sector within South Africa can also get involved, and so we're starting to see local South African companies becoming IPPs. So yes, we do have the skills, and skills are transferable. People can learn new skills. So of course, what we don't have, we can get, and we can train people locally.
All right, Roger Lilley, I appreciate your time, energy expert, joining us this morning off the back of Germany pledging an additional 6.2 billion rand for South Africa as an industry, as an electricity generating industry, to move away from coal. And this is all going to take place in the form of grants and subsidized loans. But as we heard from Roger, you can have all the money, you still need the political will, and you still need the time, anywhere between 18 to 24 months.